I mean, in my time, of course, Jello salads, gelatin salads were the vogue, either fruit or vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that we were used to. This is totally different from anything I've ever tasted before, but I didn't find it, revolting or anything.
Yeah.
But I think part of it might be the fact that gelatin salads are not in vogue anymore.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, everyone. We are now at the 16th Sunday dinner, and I have a little bit of a surprise for today.
Hi, everyone. I'm here enjoying a few days with my granddaughter, Ashley, where I'm learning how to cook. That's what I'm doing.
Yes. And today on the menu, we have... Nani, would you like to tell them?
Oh, chicken on casserole. Oh, wow. And some hot biscuits, strawberries, angel food cake, mashed potatoes, new carrots. Wow. I'm getting hungry already. And look at this, a perfection salad. Perfection salad. Wonder what that is.
And then in addition to Nani and that menu, we also have Tori. So Tori is getting some things measured in the kitchen right now. Nani and I are talking a little bit and setting up our tablecloth. And I don't know if you can see the background, these bowls. And Nani, you said you are...
Oh, that brings me back to my childhood, which was just a few years ago. But I remember having a bowl with those tulips. It was always in the cupboard, and I just loved it. So happy memory.
Yeah. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome. My name is Ashley. I'm a registered dietitian, and I love everything vintage. I found this cookbook. This is the 52 Sunday Dinners cookbook. This is from 1924 and was put out by Women's World magazine. Not to be confused with today's Women's World magazine. It's a completely different one. But they have a bunch of different recipes put into menus week by week going throughout the year seasonally and with economy in mind. So we are going through and recreating to the best of our ability exactly what it says in these recipes. We're translating them a little bit, having some fun and frustration and some surprises and disasters along the way. So if you would like to join us in the kitchen, you're going to see Tori doing quite a bit today, and Nani and I will be joining her a little bit, but she's kind of taking the head on this one. So come join us. Tori is going to work on the rolls and the perfection salad, and we're actually doing it 2 days ahead of time. She's sifting now for the 4th time, actually, instead of the 3rd. You're shortening, you're rubbing in? Now, is the option shortening or lard? Did it call for shortening?
It said shortening of choice.
Okay. In goes the milk. It doesn't say what to do after pouring the milk in.
It says to turn it out on a well-floured board. Just like this. Just like this. That's what it tells me to do.
As we're recording this, today is Holy Saturday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday. But you will be seeing this 2 weeks from now. That seems like it's very dry.
Well, I didn't mix it a whole lot.
Okay.
So I'm not allowed to touch this with my hands or a spoon. So I'm going to pretend that I'm a fancy chef. It's just folding it in with their knives.
Now, you could touch it with your hands earlier when you were supposed to rub in the shortening.
Yes.
Not now. While Tori is cutting in with those knives, I'm going to be back here shredding the vegetables for the perfection salad.
So it tells me to mix with 2 knives until the dough is well floured.
Right.
It does not say until a dough is formed. It does not say soft dough. It doesn't say anything about texture or consistency. It just says to do this until well floured and then roll into 3/4 inch.
And you're saying you're not quite sure, is it supposed to stay this kind of shaggy dough? Because you're supposed to bring it together with 2 knives, not touching it with your hands.
Yeah.
So how do you form it?
Yeah, it's not gonna form if I keep doing that.
Right.
If I do this, it will after a little bit.
But it does specify don't touch it with your hands. So,
Or a spoon.
or a spoon? Okay. So, I mean, maybe it is supposed to be like that. Or maybe they just mean at this point and it would be assumed that you touch it with your hands next, but they don't explain it.
Do not.
Okay. All right, all of you bakers out there, help us out. Tell us what you think is going on here. Are we missing a step? Is there something that would have been assumed in 1924 that we are not getting today? In your historic recipes or experiences, what is going on here and what should we be doing? All right, we're gonna try and just roll this out a little first and see what is happening with it.
I'm gonna try and mesh it in a little bit
Okay.
before I roll it. Maybe it's supposed to be flaky? Because this will be that.
I mean, we have determined so far that, in particular, the baking recipes in this cookbook, some of them are phenomenal. Some of them are phenomenot. All right, so yep,
and now I forgot.
you're touching it with your going in with your hands. You've given up.
Given up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really see any other, solution.
Mm-hmm. It seems exceptionally dry, also.
Uh-huh.
So, it did say pastry flour, and Naughty told me that that would just be all-purpose.
Well, I thought that pastry flour is probably a terminology used from way back,
Oh.
20, and because I've never heard the terminology now. I mean,
You
I've
haven't?
heard bread flour, the 00 flour.
Is that
Is that
pastry
called
flour?
pastry flour?
Yeah, that's pastry flour.
I don't think that's 4 cups, though.
No, it is not 4 cups of pastry flour.
No.
It's 2
Do you want me to do this and then make a half recipe?
Yeah. Why don't we try it with all-purpose? That way everyone can see what it looks like when you use all-purpose instead of pastry. Okay, while this is definitely more than 3/4 of an inch here, it's not the worst looking biscuit. We'll see how it tastes when we're done. But they might end up not being awful. That's a flake. Hey there, you flaky biscuit. Good luck, little biscuits. I'll put them in at 425, correct?
Yes,
Good,
for
it's at a
12 to 15 minutes.
Quick oven?
Quick.
Okay. How long have these been in?
Probably about 12 minutes.
Okay.
They're not very brown on top, but they are extremely dry,
Okay.
and I don't think they're going to brown.
Okay. All right, we are going to try the fresh biscuits now, since they're still warm out of the oven. By we, I mean Nani and Tori, because you know I can't eat them. All right. Cheers, you two. Oh. I can hear the crunching over here.
They're not as bad as I thought.
Okay.
They're not even as dry as I thought.
Okay.
No, the inside is moist.
The inside is moist?
Nani, would you like a little bit of butter?
Yeah, it seems like that's what they need.
Okay, so definitely not like a flaky, soft biscuit.
No, they are very similar to those hardtack ones we had.
Okay. Is it a giant improvement with the butter, or?
I'd say a marginal improvement.
Do they taste a little butter with it?
They're on the bland side.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're edible. I mean,
It's the highest compliment I'm gonna get from her, so.
Well, these feel way softer. Tori is starting by softening the gelatin. You probably need to mix that in.
Probably.
Now, this is not the... What is the face?
It's just so unpleasant.
Ah. The smell, the texture, both?
Texture.
I love the texture. The smell is what gets me. Oh, weren't expecting that.
I am taking the softened gelatin, putting it in here, and then adding boiling water.
2 cups.
2 cups of boiling water, and then we will let it cool.
The reamer that Tori is using today is another beautiful choice. It's the McKee Sunkissed Seville Yellow.
So it wasn't in the military? Because it's a civilian. Hilarious. So now it wants us to add all of the remaining ingredients. So that's vinegar, lemon juice.
That was vinegar. Okay, I thought that was ice water.
No, that's the ice water that we need to line the mold with. Thought I drained these.
And we have diced pimentos instead of whole pimento peppers. So we're just putting 1 jar in and hoping that's the right amount. Celery and cabbage.
But not carrots.
Not carrots. I was so determined to put carrots in there.
You were.
I mean, I think carrots would have made that look much nicer.
You know it's not going to make it look nice?
The rest of it? All of it?
Yeah. It's so appetizing.
Ice watering.
Not sure exactly how they want me to accomplish this.
That's how you're doing it?
So I'm just pouring it in and swirling it around. I'm going to go over to the sink real quick.
Swirling it down?
Yeah. I don't understand, but...
Hey. All right. Woo! Do you need help in any way?
I mean, yeah, but none that you're qualified to provide.
We're just going to cover it and set it outside while we go to church. And then when we get back later this evening, I'll put it back in the fridge.
So we did try to find the smallest carrots that we could because we could not find quote-unquote little carrots. And baby carrots, those are not little carrots. They're big carrots that have been shaved and shaped. So these are about the smallest carrots that we could find. And we're going to use those. And I'm going to go ahead and scrape, rinse, and then cut these into shapes. The recipe does say scrape, so that's what I am doing. I'm just using a teaspoon. I use the back of it and just scrape down. This is actually how I prefer to remove the outer skin of my carrots. I just think it's easier, and I'm a little afraid of veggie peelers because I have enough scars from them. So I asked Ashley what she thought into strips meant, and she said carrot sticks. So I'm going back to my elementary days, and I'm just gonna have a yummy little snack. Don't tell Ashley, I'm gonna eat a few of these.
I decided to go live while I was making several of these recipes this week. So if you haven't caught that live here and you'd like to see the whole of it, because I'm going to be cutting the majority of it out, I believe it was like 2 hours long or something. If you want to see it, I'll put a link up here. Otherwise, here is just
Tori,
the
you're in
highlights
charge
of it.
of all the comments and making sure I don't have anything hanging out of my nose. Nani, you'll be in charge of reading the recipe to me, possibly, as long as your glasses are not too dirty. And I'll be in charge of being ridiculous on camera. How's that?
Hi, Stephanie for me, and hi, Jenny.
Jenny's there. Hey, Jenny. All right, so actually I'm also recording this as well on my GoPro. So all of you that are in the live, you might end up on the recording too, just sort of having me shout out and say hello to you. But for the recording, I'm going to say this again. We have our Delphite hand mixer. Now this, I believe, is a McKee Delphite bowl with a hand mixer on top. And instead of using an electric mixer or breaking my wrist by mixing for 20 to 30, however many minutes we have to mix this angel sponge cake, we're going to use this hand mixer instead. Now, Mr. Vintage Dietitian might watch this later, find out that I'm using our rare display piece for this, and actually he'll probably be happy and say, good that you used it, unless I break it somehow in the midst of this, which is a possibility. So we're just gonna go ahead and start mixing it up here. Is this super, well, you probably can't tell, Tori. I don't know how noisy this is for you guys right now, but this is exceptionally noisy. But okay. It's way more effective though. Have any of you ever used a hand mixer before?
I have.
Oh. Why did we get away from using hand mixers? Because this is incredibly efficient. Hold on, let's see.
I still have one in my drawer in my kitchen at home.
Really? How have I never noticed this?
I don't know.
I'm always snooping through your drawers.
That I know.
Yes, we are ready for the sugar. I think it's right here. All right. And this is a cup of sugar. It is a cup of sugar, I believe, that we're adding right into there. And this is where we start for 20 minutes. So we're going to be here a while, guys. Settle in.
And Jenny says, okay, right, like chicken egg steak.
Yes.
You're welcome, Jenny.
Oh, this is way not easier. This is so thick. Woo!
That sounded awful.
I think I need to be careful at first. I'm going to mix this with the spoon first and then go in with the hand mixer. So we're adding our flour, which has been sifted 3/4 times. And then baking powder. And you say, then the flavor.
Then the flavor.
And does it tell us how much flavor?
Nope.
Okay, just flavor.
Yep.
Nani, how much? We're adding the lemon flavor as recommended. How
I
much
would
you
add at least a teaspoon and a half.
Okay.
So, Raven says if this is a vintage recipe, encase it all in lime, gelatin, and put olives and mayo in it. Funny you should say that.
That is funny you should say that.
But also, Jennifer, that is a beautiful story. Jennifer lost her grandmother during the pandemic. And by the time that they did her celebration of life, she had her recipes and served her cookies all around her graveside memorial service. And there were so many smiles and filled with our hearts. And I have shivers as I'm reading that out.
I do.
It's beautiful.
I have goosebumps as Tori's reading that to me. That's so beautiful, Jennifer. It is browned. It looks like this, and we are going to flip it upside down to hang to cool. However, after getting off of that live and looking at the recipe again, we determined that we forgot the 1/2 cup of boiling water, which probably would have helped with the volume quite a bit on this thing. So we are going to test this out, see how it goes. It doesn't look very promising, but Nani and I have to go to a church class this evening, and Tori is going to stay home. And if she has some time, she's going to redo this
perfection, no, not this perfection salad.
I'm not redoing that.
Yes. If she has time, she's going to redo the angel sponge cake again properly, and we'll test it out for either this evening when we get home or for breakfast in the morning. Now, the last thing to try to do is take out our angel sponge cake. Now, Nani, I don't know if you saw this, but it is, I don't think it's going to happen. It is terrible looking. So, we will be remaking this cake probably tomorrow. And we were going to do it tonight, but we ran out of time. And also, we didn't get it out of this pan. And we need this pan to bake the cake. So, we will do that tomorrow and have it for brunch tomorrow, I believe, and give you an opinion on a better cake then. But I'm just going to try and get it out anyway right now and see. Ugh. I don't know that it's happening. This thing is going to come out in pieces. It looks like an earthquake erupted.
Push it from the bottom.
Oh, I'm trying. It is stuck in there.
I had a feeling it was strange to me that it wasn't greased.
Well, it says ungreased.
Yeah, I know.
It tells us not to grease it. It's not happening. It's just coming out in bits and pieces. So I guess we'll just be
eating bits and pieces.
Yeah, this will be the slice of angel sponge cake that we try. Just snap it and eat it. Maybe the bottom, no. The bottom underneath of that is still very hard. Oh my. All right, well there's our sponge cake. So those of you who wanted photos of us slicing into this, there you go. I guess we better do that.
What do you want me to do with these?
Well, give me 1 second. I am rinsing that first round of water out, and we're going to do a second round.
All right.
We have our choice strawberries that we have chosen at the moment, and Nani is in the background here. She is hauling some. I am hauling some. We have put one bowl. We've started it putting into one bowl, and then we're using the slotted spoon to lift them into this bowl here, and then I believe we have to put them through a colander after. However, we are live right now, and who told us to do the
Sugar-coated mystic.
Sugar-coated mystic suggested using a stainless steel reusable straw as a strawberry hauler. Holla.
We're not in the Appalachians. That's
Yes. Tori is currently using our stainless steel reusable straw for her coffee, but I have a
sip up in 2 hours.
I know, a bubble tea one here, and well, woo, it's sort of working. Ooh, it did sort of work. It just it pulled the bottom. Boop, 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 boop. For our fried chicken, we are going to go ahead and use gluten-free flour. I still have a little bit of this Namaste flour left over, so that's what we're going to use. The angel sponge cake, if you noticed before, we used regular flour as well as for the hot biscuits. Now, Tori and Nani are gonna go ahead and try the hot biscuits and the angel sponge cake, but I'm not going to be able to do that. However, I do want to be able to try the fried chicken, so that's why we're going with gluten-free flour for this and not for those other ones. Our flour, we are seasoning with salt and pepper as it called for. However, as we have discussed in the comments and in the Facebook group as well, a lot of these women would have added their own seasonings that they wanted into this. So even though it says just salt and pepper, you would have been using whatever spices that you were accustomed to and liked. So we're gonna go ahead and add some garlic, some onion, what else would have been used? What's that, sage?
Sage.
Yes?
Sage or rosemary.
And all of those would have been readily available back in the 1920s, I believe, so we're gonna go ahead and use them. sage.
Raven says Nigella is an English quote-unquote chef, by which I mean she drinks way too much, as is the English tradition, and then makes an attempt.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty much what we do minus the drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My thing just keeps turning off, so I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep being live until my phone goes dead. Well, we have our chicken cut up here, and we are now flouring it in this mixture that we have. And I have the oil. I used butter for this one. I have the butter going in our iron skillet, and we're gonna go ahead and fry this up.
Raven did say they're not a bagologist. Well, you're not getting a handshake then.
Way too many questions for you because that's fascinating.
Thanks, have a bagel report. Take care.
It's 4:30 already.
Yes, it is 4:30 already, Nani. Now, I don't know how the lighting in this video looks compared to the a little bit earlier. However, it is now a good bit later. We anticipated being able to make this whole dinner finished and finish it and try it prior to Nani and I leaving for a church class. However, we did a live, and I thought we were on for like maybe an hour and a half, and Tori informed us it was actually 2.5 hours that we were live. And talking live, we got way behind schedule. However, I think it was worth it. We had a great time. Hopefully all of you who were there had a nice time hanging out in the kitchen with us. But it is now 9:30, I think. 9:39. And we're just getting some things put together to finish this up. The strawberry recipe, I'm looking it over, and it says put powdered sugar toward the very end. Do not powder until ready to serve, and we are ready to serve dinner. Not quite dessert yet. But it doesn't say whipped cream, and we may have talked about this before, that it specifies when it wants the cream to be whipped most often. To me, I think this should be whipped cream, but it doesn't say so. And I have seen people pour cream over fruit before and eat it that way. So that's what we're going to do. We have some heavy whipping cream here. We're gonna go ahead, put a little powdered sugar, and maybe I'll put the cream first and then the powdered sugar after so that it sticks. I don't know. There's a little tiny cream. Little tiny cream, and a little tiny cream. All right, ready to serve. All right, now we have our perfection salad. We're gonna try and unmold it first on its own because it does have we did do the ice water method, and that's supposed to be a sure shot method. Now we tried all of everybody else's methods to do on the unmolding of Jello molds, and none of them worked for me that I'm remembering. Maybe one of the greasing or something did. I can't quite remember. Really, the only thing that I have found to work for us is the warm water method. But let's see, just in case, we have our perfection salad. And let's flip her over here. 3, 2, 1, pow. It doesn't feel like it's moving. Let's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Nope. It is still stuck in there. Go around the rim here as well. So we have a warm water bath for 5 to 10 seconds and a releasing of the edges. So 3, 2, 1.
work? No. We may have to dip just a couple more seconds in there. I wonder, because this is a silicone mold, if it has to be a little bit longer in there, because the metal molds will conduct that heat a little bit better than this will, so maybe it has to go a little bit longer, but I'm not sure. I believe one of you also suggested this, and Nani is saying it, to invert it and then put a warm towel over top, a warm wet towel, moist. So I've run this under very hot water, but Nani said you can put it in the microwave as well. All right, we tried the towel trick twice. It didn't quite work. We tried pounding on this. It didn't quite work. I forgot around the middle, the cone middle part of this, to kind of run it along the edges. So I did that. I put it back in the warm water and wiggled it around in there. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. It is still not letting loose. I do not have good luck with these. All right, now I'm just kind of peeling it off because I don't know what else to do to get it out.
Take a spoon and dig it.
I just dig in out of the bowl. All right. Almost? It feels like it's almost coming loose. Oh, no.
What happened?
Well, it did halfway let loose, but half of it stayed at the top of the mold.
Oh.
So it's not beautiful.
You said that it didn't call for greasing the bowl or anything?
No, it said do not, or I don't know if it said do not grease it. It said to use ice water, like an ice water bath.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you look at it from this side, that's what it's supposed to look like. Just don't look at this side. There we go.
Oh, wow. All of these little incidents make it more interesting.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Nani. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to eat. And again, this week we do not have a starter. We're going in straight with our main meal, which is our chicken and casserole, our new carrots buttered, our mashed potatoes, and our hot rolls. So I'm going to start with the chicken. Would you like a knife?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. The chicken, again, in that milk gravy sauce, doesn't look super appetizing, but it doesn't look as bad as some of the other ones that we've had. And
It smells good.
it does smell very good. Stabbing right into it, Nani has a breast piece, I have a thigh. It feels very tender.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Very tender.
Okay. Now, I guess I should add, we did leave it in the casserole for several hours. And this is not an old frying chicken. This is probably a young chicken, but just as they would have done, we had to run to church for a church class, and when we got back, we took it out of the oven, so this has been going a while.
It's tasty.
Yeah? Would you like to, after you... It smells very good.
It's tasty, it's moist.
Mm-hmm.
Tender.
I could smell the seasonings initially, but I poked in and got some of the meat here. And there aren't as many seasonings right inside of the meat. And I can smell the meat on its own, I think. It smells very good.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. We were talking earlier about it being fried chicken. And it is fried initially, but this isn't a fried chicken recipe. This is more of a chicken casserole type of recipe. And if you're not expecting it to be crispy and fried, I think it's wonderful. It is, I agree. I think
it is. It's more like a chicken and gravy type thing.
Yeah, completely. It is a chicken and gravy type of thing. It's very tender, very, very easy to just... I barely need my fork to poke through that, and it's coming apart. The flavor's good. The texture is good. I think this is a great recipe.
And it's moist.
It is very moist.
Not
Yes.
dried out or anything.
Now, Tori's a little busy doing something else, a different project for herself right now. So she isn't joining us for this part of the meal. I don't know if she'll join us or not. I think she might not be able to tonight. But I don't think she would like this because she prefers her chicken very dry. So I'll give Tori's opinion. No, I don't like it. Do you think that's what she would say?
Yes.
Yeah. The texture, the flavor's good, but I don't like the texture. That's what Tori would say if you're wondering what her opinion would be. She's going to kill me when she sees that imitation. All right. I want to try a little bit of the skin. Did you get any skin on your breast?
There was a little bit there.
Okay. And how was the texture of the skin?
I didn't taste it yet.
Okay.
Here's a small piece I got.
Okay. We'll taste it again. What do you think of the... Well, I'll let you finish it off before you finish.
Normally, if in the rare occasions when I do eat skin, I like it if it's very crispy. This is not crispy. But of course it's in the gravy, so I guess I wouldn't expect it to be. But it was tasty.
Yeah, I would agree. I think normally I don't like my skin kind of... I like a lot of soggy textures, but not chicken skin. I like my chicken skin to be very crispy. However, in this, it's almost kind of melting into the gravy. It works out very, very well. Now, if we had not left this to cook for several hours, we just left it on low for several hours while we were gone. If we had only cooked this maybe an hour or so, I don't know if that would be the case, if we'd be having the same experience.
Do you want to cook some more tomorrow? And we can compare.
Yeah, any of you guys out there, if you are in the Facebook group or if you just leave comments down below, if you have the cookbook and you're following along with these recipes and you did your chicken for just maybe an hour or so, share with us what your experience was, what the difference is that you're finding compared to what we're saying. So now in for the carrots. They smell good. I smell a lot of... Actually, I think I smell the butter more than I expected to. Let's try. Did you try me?
I tried it already. You're too slow for me.
Tell me what you think.
I think they're very good. I like them on the crunchier side. And they're very tasty. A very nice addition, side dish for the chicken. I think they blend very well together.
I agree. Now, I think I like my carrots a little mushier, and I think they're supposed to be probably a little bit more cooked than they are right now. However, they just came out how they came out, so you love them this way. I think they're very good. I like them this way. And I agree. I think they complement this chicken very well, and I bet they're going to complement the potatoes very well. And as we talk about every week, a mashed potato is a mashed potato. It's going to taste the same.
I was going to say, there's not much you can say about a mashed potato.
It's good.
It's good. It's not lumpy. It's it's a mashed potato. But we love our mashed potatoes.
That's true. And I think, again, it complements this meal very, very well. Now, the next thing to try, I won't be trying, but you need to, is these hot rolls. And you tried the ones that you guys made yesterday or the day before.
Day before.
You made them with all-purpose flour.
That's correct, instead of pastry flour, and they were very hard. And they were tasty. But their consistency was not...
No.
It was extremely hard, especially the outer part of it. So now I'll take a bite of this.
Yeah. You guys described it, I don't know if they described it on camera or not, but they described it as soft tack. Not quite hard tack. More like a soft tack.
Total difference here.
Yeah?
You have a normal crust, top, outer coating that's just a little bit more, shall we say, crusty,
Okay.
but not really, crusty like a pie, but just a little bit more. And then it complements itself the inside, if you want to look at it.
Oh yeah. Here. I'll bring it closer for them.
Is moist and like a nice biscuit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, hot biscuits, not hot rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look great. We'll finish off this and then we'll come back with our perfection salad. Now we have our perfection salad.
It's not quite perfection.
No, it is not quite perfection. We have our mayonnaise on top, our lettuce on the bottom. Now this is probably not the same type of lettuce that would have been served in 1924. They probably would have been using like an iceberg or a Simpson or something like that. Not a spring mix, however. We showed you what it looked like as a mold. And here is what this looks like on the plate. Kind of jiggling around a little with all the pieces. And I'll let you hear what it sounds like as well. Stop moving, Tori. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not a very appetizing sound. Now, I think you're going to see here a difference in probably generations because you grew. Wait.
I'm anxious to see what this is all about.
You can come down now, Tori. You grew up in a time when this was popular, and you said before when I told you I was making a tomato aspic, you said, I love an aspic.
Yes.
So you like a vegetable Jell-O salad, and you like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So for you, this is probably something that looks like it would be tasty. Is that correct?
It could be. It looks a little bit different to me from any, like even an aspic or
Okay.
that. Isn't it? This is quite different from anything I've experienced.
Okay. It's not as good as what I'm used to. That's what I'm hearing.
Well,
Okay.
that's what we hear no matter what you make.
Yes. So you go ahead. I'd say the smells are very interesting. Is there sugar in this?
Mm-mm. I'll sniff it.
It almost tastes, I think I'm smelling the pimentos. It almost tastes a little sweet.
It smells like
It
cabbage
smells,
with vinegar.
I was going to say, it kind of smells like mayonnaise, but I don't have any mayonnaise on here. And yes, it
There's
smells
vinegar in the
yes.
mold.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nani, you've crunched on it a little. Give us your opinion.
I think I sort of like the taste. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The vegetables are nice and crunchy, but I think I would eliminate the mayonnaise.
Okay.
But it's a totally different taste. But I sort of like the crunchy, fresh vegetables, the celery, the cabbage, and
Mm-hmm.
How did it end up coming out of the mold?
No one asked you to ask that question,
Not
Tori.
great. No, it looked like it set really well. And that's not on you because I'm the one that did it. So it's on me that it came out wrong.
Well, I mean, maybe it's the fact that we're using a silicone mold. I don't know. But my initial bite of this was unpleasant. Like that, the way it melted did not agree with me, I think. But I don't know if it was the flavor as much as I was expecting it but not expecting it. It caught me off guard a little. But I want to try it again. This time I'll try it with the mayonnaise.
it's a very different taste.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that I disliked it.
I'll agree.
Did
Without
you have a
the
short circuit for a second there?
Just stop it. I like it without the mayonnaise much better. I want to try it one more time. It's very interesting because it reminds me of like a cucumber salad, like cucumbers and onions with vinegar on it. And it's the same flavor, almost the same texture with the crunching, but there is that Jell-O in it. it's just very different. And I would say if I was used to eating this, if I had this even like, I don't know, once a year growing up, I might really like this. But right now, I think it's a little too new for me to like it yet.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste, but I actually have to say I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it's an acquired texture.
It's the texture of it.
Yes.
You're not quite expecting that when you bite into it at first.
Yes. Even anybody my generation or younger, and maybe even like, I don't know, Generation X as well, probably, to have just that immediate revolted reaction. But if you let go of it for a minute, and I know, like, I see all these videos all the time of these horrendous nightmare Jello salads, and I think like the initial idea or like the fun part of it is to give in to the revulsion. But if you let that go for just a minute and keep an open mind about it, it genuinely isn't that bad. The flavor is good, I think. Yeah. Tori has joined the part of dinner where the dessert is being served, so she got to skip out on the chicken part, which we said she would hate. Here is our angel sponge cake. Don't these slices look nice? We're starting in with our strawberries. It smells just like strawberry. It smells delicious.
That's really weird. I wonder why.
No, wait, you have to try your strawberry first and tell us your opinion.
It tastes like a strawberry. Here's some little cream over it. But
How is it with the cream and the...
refreshing.
Okay.
Tastes like watermelon. I'm joking.
I was going to say, I was trying to taste the watermelon. I'm like, I'm not getting that, but
No,
maybe
I'm
I need
trying to
another
be
bite.
funny.
Oh.
It doesn't always work.
What do you think about the cream on it, Tori?
I like it.
Okay.
I love berries and cream.
Mm-hmm.
I like to put coffee cream on my berries sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, like hazelnut coffee creamer.
Okay.
It's really good.
I feel like that's, I initially want to tell you that's really weird, but now that I think about it, a flavored cream, even though it's not cream, but, you know, would be pretty good. Next, they will be trying our mutilated angel sponge cake, part 1. We'll try it correctly next. For breakfast maybe tomorrow. Nani? Tori?
Look, my piece is strawberry shaped.
There's probably a good taste in there.
Probably. You're tasting it. Tell us whether it is or isn't.
I mean, actually, it's tasty, but it doesn't taste like a cake.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the texture, as you can see, is not... the cake fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like Ossi di Marchi pancakes.
Nani, would you like to describe to them?
Ossa di Morte are an Italian cookie similar to a German springerle, a meringue type cookie. And in the translation means dead man's bones because they sort of look very chalky. But they are delicious, and I know that I made them one time for a group I was with, and the people were walking off, putting them in the pockets, that they were enjoying it so much.
Okay.
I mean, I like the texture. It's just not the texture we want for
No.
this.
Nani, what's your opinion of the meal overall?
I found it a very good, a very well-balanced meal.
Mhm.
I thought the chicken itself, with the gravy, the gravy you added then to the mashed potatoes, and even on top of the chicken, there was a huge compliment there. And the carrots, which I enjoyed a little bit on the crunchy side, and complementing the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And mashed potatoes was all good, well-rounded meal.
Mm-hmm.
and I really liked the touch of the perfection salad.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different. It kind of gave you a completion to the whole meal. And who can turn down cake and strawberries and cream?
My opinion on this meal, nutrition-wise, is, again, I think this is a pretty good meal. It was very well balanced. Our protein wasn't exactly a lean protein after we got done with it, but it was a very good source of protein. You have that paired with your starch and a cooked vegetable, and then I guess another starch. And as we've discussed before multiple times in 1924, that they would have needed a lot more energy. They would have been burning off a lot more. So these simple carbohydrates are probably a little more necessary then compared to now. You then add another several different types of vegetables in there and gelatin. So minus the mayonnaise, I guess, that perfection salad, while in today's eyes is a little kind of really gross looking, nutrition-wise, it's pretty, I would say, decently balanced there. And you have your lettuce that it's sitting on top of. You know, I'm always a fan. The more vegetables, the better. And we finished off our meal with fruit in addition to our cake. So I would give this one probably another 8, an 8 out of 10 for nutrition. So cost-wise, this one was another pretty good economic meal. After calculating everything that we had, and I am pretending we had regular flour instead of gluten-free flour, because sometimes that does bring the price up. But I'd say we are probably no more, but between $40 and $50 for this for 6 people, and probably we're closer to the $40 in this meal in particular. If you like what you saw this week, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel so that you never miss another Sunday dinner. If you'd like to join the conversation, we have a Facebook group going where we share all sorts of memories and recipes, and some of you even make the recipes that we're making alongside of us and share your reactions and results with us in the comments and in the group there. So please join us there if you're a part of Facebook. And if you'd like to see what we're making next week, join us as we make a mint sauce for another leg of lamb and a custard rice pudding. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. I redid the sponge cake. This time I remembered the boiling water. We also used an electric mixer to beat the eggs and sugar, so that definitely made a difference. So we're going to cut into it, and Nani and I are going to try. It's a little hard to get off of the thing.
The size of it, it almost looks like it's a lemon bar or something.
Yeah, I was good. From the top, it looks like cornbread. But then once I cut in, this does look very lemon bar-like. And it's lemon flavored, so.
Thank you.
Dig in.
It smells very lemony. A little eggy.
Okay, Haas.
Tastes like a fluffy lemon bar. It's really good.
It actually is good. The consistency, I'm surprised because I didn't know. I mean, not that that it was good, but you know, it just didn't seem to have the same ingredients that the modern day sponge cake. I did a little research, and I noticed that this was totally different. In fact, actually, it had less eggs in than what the modern one does, but I think that probably the flour, sometimes they use, the modern days they use a cake flour, but I think this is, thinking back to 1924 and what they had available at that time, and this was probably quite a delicacy for them.
I don't know if they saw on the cross section. It's very spongy on the top, but then there's this like layer that separates that's very, for like we keep saying, very lemon bar-y.
Overall, different than a sponge cake, but still a thumbs up. Well, there you have it, folks. Final review. It was good.
It was good, yes.